Well, Jacob Zuma will know his fate within hours. In May, the former president and French arms company Thales presented arguments for a permanent stay of prosecution. They are facing charges of fraud and corruption that date back to the controversial multi-billion rand arms deal. The matter has been in and out of the court since 2005. To help us look at this complex 14-year-long battle, I'm joined by legal expert Ulrich Roux. Very good morning to you.
Morning, Jan.
What's going to happen today?
Well, one would have to wait and see. The considerations that the judge must take into account is...
Which are?
It is whether there's been an undue delay in the matter on behalf of the state, whether Jacob Zuma's constitutional right to a fair trial has been infringed upon, and then thirdly, what the interests of society dictates. Now, to break that down, there's been numerous delays in this matter. I looked back on my timeline now as well. And in March 2018, the NDPP at the time, Mr. Sean Abrams, made a big media statement and said that we are now prosecuting Jacob Zuma. That is now 18 months plus down the line, and still this trial has not started. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know, as you correctly pointed out, the matter dates back to 2005 already. So in 14 years, there's been numerous delays, but in Jacob Zuma's defense, those delays have also been caused by the state. So the judge will have to make a fine balancing act between who has been responsible for these delays.
Because he's been responsible for...
Yes, definitely, yes. Could have been avoided, and does it prejudice Jacob Zuma's constitutional right to a fair and speedy trial? Now that must be balanced with the interests of society. What message is being sent out if the judge decides today to stay this prosecution? So in other words, he can no longer be prosecuted on these charges. Or is it in the interest of society for him to state his case? Remember, he has for years, he said that I want my day in court, I want to prove that I'm innocent. And is it not in the interest of society for him to go to court and to then prove whether he is indeed innocent as he has proclaimed all these years?
Yeah, he says he wants to go to court, but he wants a stay of prosecution here. So that's a bit of a mixed message, isn't it?
No, it is. It's a contradiction. You know, you look back at what he's said over the years, and exactly like I said now, he's proclaimed his innocence from the outset. And he has, in fact, challenged the NPA to take him to court because he will prove his innocence. And now when they've taken him to court, he says, no, well, this cannot carry on any longer because there's been such a delay in the matter.
And what will it be down to? I believe there's a letter. What sort of information are they working with?
Well,
focusing on the political side of things.
Well, just on the application was based on the fact that a lot of the evidence that they relied on initially is no longer available. A lot of the witnesses are no longer available, and the evidence accordingly cannot be relied upon. But if the permanent stay of prosecution is granted, it's purely an order by the court that says that he can no longer be prosecuted on this matter, regardless of whether there is sufficient evidence, regardless of whether the state feel that they can prove their case. And it will certainly be a big turning point in Jacob Zuma's long court battle.
Whatever way it goes, can he appeal? Can the other side appeal?
No, the permanent stay of prosecution, they can't today. If it is not granted, then the matter will be set on for trial, and they will hopefully go on trial as soon as possible.
Tuesday, I believe.
Yes, indeed. And if it is granted, then no, that's the end of the line of this matter. It will not see the day of light in a court again.
Ulrich, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So at 8, we will go live to our reporting team at the High Court in Pietermaritzburg, where former President Jacob Zuma is expected there this morning. Stay with ENCA.